Cool.
All right there, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. You'll never guess who I've managed to get on. Very lucky, very thankful he's decided to come on. It is the one, the only, Callum's Court. No, I'm joking. It's the bloke who's as sound as a pound. It's Edbound. Whee!
Whoa, that was a pretty cool rhyme. The bloke who's the sound as a pound. Haha, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. But
Classic.
awesome that you came on, bro. Seriously.
Happy to be on. Yeah. So what's up, everybody? I know we can't talk to you in real time.
But
So what's up? Just Sack Pat.
not too much, bro. Not too much. Got a cheeky job interview tomorrow, so hopefully that goes all right.
Ooh, where at?
It's an estate agency, so fingers crossed. Jobs are pretty dead at the moment with this COVID stuff, so anything's
Damn,
good.
yo.
Anything's good, you know. Even if I don't get it, it's good interview experience, man.
Yeah. I mean, with interview, like really, all employers are really looking for, I find, is just somebody who's available 24/7, so that way they can, take you to work whenever they want.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, you know, people, as long as you're flexible and you just bust your ass and you're not...
They don't care who you are. They just want somebody who can work.
Yeah.
So just make them believe you're that person. But obviously, don't actually be that person because people deserve more than being treated like
Yeah.
robots.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of how it was with my apprenticeship. I was sort of treated a bit like a robot, you know. I've told you about it before, remember? Like, I told you I was insanely ill and they weren't even really that bothered. It's okay that I talk about this as long as I don't mention the company or whatever it is. But,
That's like the worst type of like management style too, because it's like, dude, by completely disregarding my humanity, I don't want to work for you, right?
exactly, that was one of the final straws, man. Because, like, it was just an apprenticeship, so the money was crap anyway. But, like, they weren't bothered. Like, I personally think it was COVID because I felt like this was going to lead to death. But they just said
Oh man.
But I told you the doctors didn't test me for COVID because they said, well, you haven't been to China. So, and honestly, bro, I saw, like, I know you haven't watched Doctor Who, but, like, when David Tennant's about to die and he looks really scared, that's basically how I felt. Oh, sorry, I've spoiled it for you, but when he regenerates, I was, like, so scared, but I sort of held it in. Like, I didn't really, but, like, because I didn't know, but even if I wanted to let out all my fear, I was so lethargic and dead, it was a struggle to go to the toilet. Like, I could barely stand up and move.
Oh my god, you might have actually had it.
Yeah. And I was physically weak for a couple more weeks, so...
Holy.
Well, because I actually went to work, though, right, on the Tuesday when I was insanely ill, I still went in and I was coughing, I was in so much agony, Ed, you wouldn't believe it, bro.
And they still force you to... It sucks. That's what I mean. Like, and that's the only reason why we see things like cases spread, too, is because you got employers who are saying you have to come in.
I could have given it to anyone. I could have given it to, like, 50 people, and I hope they're not dead, but one of them could be, like, passed on.
It sucks. And it's like, I don't know, man. It just sucks because it's like, we could have avoided so much death and like misery if it wasn't just for people. If y'all could just like let everything chill for 2 months, and then we could have been back by now.
Yeah, the world would have been rolling.
Everything could have been back by now.
Thing is, though,
Stubborn, stupid people.
I'll tell you something, Ed. Right before the lockdown, right, I saw a picture of people in this pub, and there's a load of cokeheads in this pub anyway. Not too far from me, I'm not going to name and shame, but there was a crap ton of them. There was about, like, nearly 30 of them on a bloody photo, and I'm thinking, just because the lockdown's about to happen doesn't mean that you go out and piss up and enjoy yourself for, like, the last day. You need to, like, get in your homes. It's just some people, man.
It's like, until people start seeing bombs go off and gunfire in, like, their own backyards, I don't think they'll truly understand the danger they'll be in.
Yeah, sad but true. But anyway, enough about that sadness. First question.
Oh yeah, that was pretty heavy for, like,
that was pretty deep for the first few minutes. But first things first, I know it's a generic question, but back in 2008, what got you into this then, bro?
Yeah, it was just my friend. He called me and he said, "Yo, look up this thing called Clayworld on YouTube." And I looked it up and I saw what it was. Clayworld by Robert Benfer. And that got me into stop motion as a whole, because, like, I didn't know what it was at that time. But, you just see these clay dudes moving around on, like, a table that look like it could belong to anybody. And I'm just thinking, like, damn, this dude just does it in his house? Like, how hard can it be? Turns out it can be kind of hard, but not too hard to get into, especially, like, not even back then. I just got like my dad's flip phone. I just bought some clay and I just started recording random stuff. And from there, it kind of just evolved.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty much it.
you didn't watch anything like Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run, or any of that sort of stuff, or I know it's stupid, but Shaun the Sheep, like any stop
I never
motion.
watched it. I knew what it was.
Oh, okay.
The most I watched was Pengu when I was like 4 or 5.
Oh.
But I didn't know that was stop motion.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know what stop motion was. I just saw that it was like, haha, funny penguin guy. He says noot noot.
To be fair, all those people did a sick job with a lot of this stuff. You see how big the set pieces are, and all the blinking, and all the mouth movements, and all the... It's just like, you got to respect the dedication, even though some of these films aren't like critically acclaimed, like Pulp Fiction, or Once Upon a Time in America, or Goodfellas, or any of that jazz. You still got to like respect it.
You just named, it's funny you just like named 3 mobster crime movies
Yeah.
in a row.
Well,
Pretty cool.
they're my favourites, man. I'm such a bloody film buff.
I haven't actually seen Goodfellas or Once Upon a Time in America, though I've heard quite a bit about them, and I've only heard good things, and I definitely want to go and watch.
Well, you've seen Pulp Fiction, though, haven't you?
I have seen Pulp Fiction,
Well,
yes.
that is class, innit?
Pretty class, I gotta say.
I mean...
all the characters, the way it all like culminates at the bar, like damn.
Yeah, Tim Roth, and I can't remember the lady's name, but I know her character's name. He calls her Honey Bunny. And obviously you've got Samuel L. Jackson and Travolta, so it was just awesome.
I was so shocked when Travolta just like ate it. I was like, what the heck?
No, I thought that
this
was
just happened?
I absolutely loved that, to be fair.
You knew that was gonna happen?
Well, basically, when I was like 12, I used to love... Because I went on IMDb and I saw, Pulp Fiction's one of the best films ever, but obviously I couldn't watch it when I was 12. So I looked up all the spoilers and I saw that he died. But then I saw the last... But then I saw the last clip and he's alive. So I said, I was saying to one of my family members, did he fake his death then? And they said, no. And I said, what happened? They said, you're going to have to watch it. And then I realised, it's set all over the place.
It's just one of those movies. It's just one of those weird movies.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's one of those movies that's also kind of hard to watch. Not because it's bad, but because it's so long.
Yeah.
I definitely remember having a hard time watching it. Because I think I just have a hard time watching movies if not in the theater.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, because like there's just so much going on. Like, you've got social media and so many distractions, and it's just sort of hard to like sit down and watch a film.
It's so hard to do anything, to just sit down and do anything for more than like 30 minutes, especially now. Especially during lockdown.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but like every 30 minutes it's like, what's going on?
I know, man. Like, the only thing I've really wanted, when this lockdown first started, I thought to myself, alright, I'm going to watch a crap ton of films, and I've watched a few, and I thought I'm going to get through a load of shows, and at best I got through a few series of Doctor Who, but then after series 4 I thought I'm going to give it a break. I've only watched a few episodes of series 5, and I watched some good films like Train Spotting and a few others. Watched Escape from New York the other day, and pretty cool stuff. But like I've just been lazy with films, bro. Just because the lockdown makes you lethargic and lazy.
Yeah, it's also just makes it hard to like concentrate.
Yeah, that too, because you're so used to like lying in all the time and doing nothing, and it's just like.
And it's like my bed is right there, and it's so comfortable. I want to go sleep on it for like the whole day, and then that's how you lose a day.
Exactly.
Like, I promise it'll only be for 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Nah.
That's so right, man.
You get claimed, you get claimed by the bed.
Yeah. And I got Twitter recently, as you know, and
oh yeah.
Bro, I know it's a bit freaky, but I was actually hyped about this because Forrest Far replied to one of my things.
Oh, I saw him. On that one video where on that one tweet about the Family Guy.
Yeah, and I was like, what specifically? I was like, he actually replied, and I was like, man, I know. Cool. I mean, it's not a big deal, because, I mean, like, he follows you, bro. I mean, that's way more cool. It's pretty nice. I'm pretty sure.
I gotta say, it's one of those things where I think, like, I don't know, I guess as I got older, you kind of stop looking at these people like huge figures or influencers or whatever, and you just start remembering that these are people. And I think this might have to do with the fact that I've been let down by quite a few people I used to look up to. Especially in Smash Bros. This might actually get a little bit off topic, or even
that's fine, bro. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want, man. Seriously.
So, like with the Smash Bros. Community, I went to Smash Bros. Tournament throughout all of high school, right? Well, throughout most of high school. Started in like grade 10, and I didn't go too much in grade 12. But for the couple years I was like really active in the scene, there were a lot of top players that I would look up to, like from New York or from other areas. Well, specifically from New York, especially. And they would come to Toronto every so often because Toronto also hosted big events that they would want to come to compete in. And there were a couple that I met that would actually hang out with a lot. And they'd even say like, "Yo, you're pretty good at this." And I'm like, "Damn, am I really?" It's pretty cool to like feel noticed by somebody I look up to. And then they turn out to be sexual predators.
Yeah.
It literally this was actually earlier this month or like
are these
late
like
last
dudes?
June.
Wait, was this when you was a kid, or is this like now? So this was now then?
This is actually pretty recent. So I guess it doesn't
at
really
least
make
at
sense
least
to say when like I fall out of love with a lot of like people who I used to look up to.
Look, at least sorry, at least it's not noncery or anything like that.
I don't know what that is.
Paedophilia.
Oh no, it straight up is.
What? But you're like 21. How old were they?
No, it straight up was pedophilia. Like there's this one dude named Nairo that I looked up to a lot because he was like, I thought he was cool and he was funny and he was one of my favorite players. But in 2017, it turned out he got his dick sucked by a 15-year-old at a tournament. By a 15-year-old dude, and he was 20 at the time. And I'm like, I'm 21 right now. I was 20 last year, and I knew way better than to ever even look at someone that age like that. What the heck is wrong with you, dude?
Well, thing is, right, people who have these problems, they should just try and go for people their own age constantly. It doesn't matter if it's a bloke or a woman. Just go for people your own age or older, or just get help. And if nothing works, they should just be chemically castrated. I don't mean to be mean, but if they can't control themselves and they're ruining kids' lives,
Yeah, especially like that's the thing, right? Because you're not taking into the fact that by doing this, you're essentially like putting a cap on this person's life for the rest of their life.
They could be in therapy forever and like resort to drugs or like go mental or kill themselves,
Then like regardless of whether or not this is initiated by the kid or not, it's like you're the adult, you have the responsibility in the situation, you should know better.
Yeah, I can't believe I can't believe that 15-year-old dude agreed to it though. That's just sad.
No, apparently he was actually like the one going for it.
The 15-year-old dude was?
Yeah.
Oh, he should have. Now, I don't agree with assault.
Here's the thing, I don't agree with that either, because I was 15-year-old, and I also like knew not to do this either, even like with anyone.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that this exempts the adult in this situation from all responsibility.
Yeah.
They still had more responsibility, and they still had more power, especially as as the more famous player. He was like top 2 in the world at the time, and as the more prominent figure, there's that's the thing, you have to look at the power imbalance in
yeah,
like this.
100%. I mean, listen, I don't agree with assault and all, but if I was that dude, I'd say, please stop, bro. This is I'm not interested in dudes, and even if I was, I wouldn't go for a 15-year-old. And if he didn't stop, I'd say, listen, I'm going to hit you in a second, please stop. If he didn't stop, he's going on the floor. I'm sorry. I don't agree with assault.
I wouldn't hit him. I would probably just walk out the room.
No, but I mean, if he's like forcing himself and trying to get,
Oh, I guess that is like, it's like if they're actually like making.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I meant. If he was like forcing himself on him, if he's just saying, "Oh, please," if he's just saying, "Please, can I suck you off?" I'd just say no and leave.
The thing is, I don't think I would hit him because I don't know what.
Come on, bro. Even if he was forcing himself on you.
Yeah, I know. But like, I don't know if I'd hit them because. You're gonna like walk out the door. You just hit a 15-year-old, and everybody's gonna be asking you, "Yo, why'd you just hit that 15-year-old?"
Well, I'd say
your side of the story, but at the end of the day, it doesn't. Like, there's tiers, and there's tiers of what people are willing to forgive and what people aren't willing to forgive. I don't think hitting a 15-year-old is on that tier of like willing to forgive. So I don't know if that personally would be an option for me.
Fair enough. But the thing is, imagine if you didn't. All right, pushing him away then, or whatever. But like,
I'd walk out the room. Out the room.
But I meant if they were like forcing themselves, and they were like saying, like really getting onto you and like.
I'd go to a more public space and be like, try this with all these people around, like.
Yeah.
And also the craziest thing is this 15-year-old actually did try to do this to another guy in the scene, and who was of similar age, and that guy was literally just like, no, what's wrong with you? And it's like, it's that easy, bro. It's that easy.
Well, yeah. Listen, I'm not saying I'd hit them if they were just saying stuff. I meant if they were trying to like force themselves on me, and
I know what you mean.
If they were just saying stuff, I'd just say, yeah. I don't agree with assaulting people. That's horrible, but like.
I think you just have to look at what happened happens next after that? Because at that
True.
point, it becomes your word against theirs, and it's like, who's gonna
Yeah,
trust
yeah.
them, you know?
But the thing is, I'll tell you what's worse though. If you let them do it and they're forcing themselves, and then what if someone walks in and sees some 15-year-old, you know, sucking you off? Like, you know, that's gonna look really odd. And even if you said, I didn't want them to, they're forcing themselves on me. They said, well, why didn't you do anything about it? I did try to, but I didn't want to hit them. Oh, well then you still look weird, mate.
Just walk out. I don't know. There are a lot of solutions in this particular situation. I'm not saying that every abuse victim has the power to just say no, because unfortunately, with a lot of cases, that's not the case. You can't just say no to a lot of like abusers.
Yeah.
Because they can get violent. But in this scenario, you know, these are two skinny dudes. I don't really see a fight breaking out.
True. All right then. If you can, leg it out the room. That's the solution. Just push past them and run full speed.
It's just, you know, you just gotta like, especially like with like very like crazy situations like this, you kind of have to think ahead. You know, what if I do this? How will that affect everybody?
Yeah. You do have to try and be steps ahead, but in the moment, anything can happen. But anyway, so
in the moment, you should still be able to say no, though, I guess.
Yeah, you would. Obviously, you would, as long as it's just words. But you know,
I don't know. Again, the issue is with this dude, you know. So
you know the bloke who's 30 or 20 or whatever. He was just letting him do it then.
He was 20 at the time, and he just said, "Okay, sure." He was into it.
Oh no!
And it's like,
he should have just said to him.
But it's like stuff like that, you know. It's like you look up to people and like they disappoint you.
That is just like one of the saddest things ever. Like, Ed, I know you never do this, but like, if I was, you know how I told you, like, on Discord, I said, you know, your brick films have made me want to brick film again. And then if I heard that you let some 15-year-old dude suck you off, I'd be like, oh man, this is like the saddest thing ever. I looked up to this man.
This is what I mean when I say don't idolize people.
Yeah.
Especially like on my streams and stuff. It's just, you gotta remember, people, it's definitely something I took away, especially now, that you know, that you look up to people and you get disappointed, and it's like, yeah, again, at the end of the day, these people are just as capable of making horrible decisions.
Yeah.
You know, why do you look up to these people in the first place? Why do you believe that their opinions or whatever are more valuable inherently than the average person's? Because they're better at you than in a video game, or at, like, you know, making videos or something? It's like, that's just one facet of what they do.
That is an amazing point. But can I tell you why I was so happy about the forest fire thing? He has always, can I just say, he's always seemed like an enigma to me, because I went on his streams. No, I didn't even know he had streams until I got back into watching brick films, like in mid-2019, and I saw that there was a stream, and I remember putting it in your Discord, and I was like, look at this, everyone, and then one of the mods was like, this isn't really relevant, is it, for this section? And I was like,
oh man.
And I was like, I'll tell you who it is afterwards. He's an alright guy, really, but
I guess I can understand the.
It's no one. It's no one you know. It's no one you know in real life. It's not one of your homies. Don't worry.
I mean, they're all mods. They're all a part of the mod circular family.
No, a purple people mods. Like with the purple names on.
There's a whole tier. To be honest,
it was a $5 person.
Oh, okay. It was very focused on.
Yeah, I'll tell you after the podcast.
War episode.
I'll tell you after the podcast who it was. Anyway, but Forest Fire, I was like, he actually interacts with his fans, because before he felt like, I'm not saying he's an A-list celebrity, but like, you know, Martin Scorsese, Sergio Leone, you know, Stanley.
I sure do know of them, yeah.
Stanley Kubrick, Quentin Tarantino. I sort of like put Forest Fire up with them because he's such a good filmmaker. He's so good at what he does, and he just seemed like he was a bit of a mystery to me, like them. Like, you don't really. Well, you see, I felt like I knew Quentin and Martin Scorsese because of all the interviews better than Forrest, really.
More of an enigma. You're right about that one.
But then seeing him reply, because obviously, bro, I've watched him longer than I've watched bloody. Before I knew who Quentin Tarantino and Scorsese were. I watched him since I was like 7. I remember seeing his Lego Star Wars vids, and I was like a little 7-year-old and saying, oh, I want more Lego Star Wars.
Yo, Forest Fire was the original Martin Scorsese.
Bro, 100%. even though Scorsese was making films in the 70s and 80s, I don't care.
Nah, Forrest was the original Martin Scorsese. That's just how it is in history.
Yeah,
That's just what we gotta deal with. That's just what we gotta accept.
Those are the facts now, aren't they?
It's, you know, I agree though. Like, you know, I grew up watching Forest Fire stuff too. And like, even like, you know, I'd like be I'd be like aggressively following his second channel for any
Oh.
of update. I would check back to his channel every day and see like how far
Bro.
progress he's made on a video. Because he used to do that. He used to do the thing where like, Lego Batman Robin's babysitter is now 80% complete. and I check that every day. Like, how close is it, Forrest? How close is it, man?
Yeah.
And it's like I definitely get that too. But it's just I think with Forrest in particular. There is a lot of mystery surrounding him, because you look at his older videos and a lot of the humor in that is definitely outdated, and it's something he recognizes too, because you see it with his tweets and how it's interesting to see like the sort of like it's like Sonic generations. You know, you have classic Sonic and you have modern Sonic. In this case, you have classic Forest and you have modern Forest, in which there's definitely a change, not just because of personal development, but also because of societal development, and that's pretty interesting to see. There's like a whole timeline.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
like
there was a lot more jokes to what Robin was interested in. I don't want to say the words because I don't want to offend anyone, but like, there was a lot of jokes, and Robin was a lot more of a stereotypical type of person, and there was a lot more swearing and offensive stuff, and people having to go at each other, and people getting killed, but nowadays it's like a lot more smart, isn't it? And the dialogue's a lot more like, some dialogue back then was just like really, it just seemed with bad taste, but nowadays it's all more witty and smart.
Yeah, it's definitely, I guess you can also look at like the age too. Back then he was like a lot younger.
Yeah.
Now he's I'm assuming at this point he pays his own bills.
He's 26, isn't he? So
I think he's actually my sister's age.
Oh, cool.
26-ish.
Yeah.
That might be, I think we might have definitely dove a little bit too deep into this guy's life.
Yeah. We should have been doing more productive stuff like watching viral videos instead of watching him all the time.
But at the end of the day, again, everybody you watch or admire, people are people.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are literally just people.
Yeah, 100%. Can I just say one thing quickly though about you know how a lot of YouTubers from years ago, like, do you know Boogie 2988?
Yes.
Like, his reputation has gone down the hill. He's not the bloke we used to think he was, but Forrest has always remained like a pretty cool guy,
I think Forrest is smart. I think he puts just enough of himself out there to sort of like give you a vague interpretation of what they're like. So,
yeah.
But it's like just enough to to get you on their side.
But I suppose.
But he doesn't try to pull too hard into that, like a lot of especially influencers.
Yeah.
Particularly do.
I was gonna say like Boogie, H3, a lot of these, as you said, influencers. They put their lives on camera, and Forrest doesn't really do that. The most you get from him is like a little bit of a live stream and maybe stuff on his second channel. Or a cheeky vlog, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, bro, this has been something I've really wanted to ask you, right?
Actually, there's one more thing I want to say.
Okay, go on then.
It's been on my, because while we're still in the Forrest discussion, I gotta say, I don't know if this is gonna make it into the podcast because it's a little bit political.
No, say what you want, I don't care. As long as it's not too, just go for it.
I guess my biggest grievance with him recently is that he, on Instagram, he did say something about, like, they gotta reopen up businesses right before the second wave really hit. I don't know if he still holds that opinion. Again, I don't, follow this dude, like crazy. But seeing that, I'm just like, no, they don't. I don't know how much money you're losing, but whatever the case is, I don't think, putting people back to work at risk is the move here.
Well, I'll just say my opinion quickly then, bro, right? I sort of get a little bit where he's coming from, but what if, loads more people die? Then loads more deaths happen, loads more grieving families, and then, well, bloody hell, failure, basically, waste of time. And then the businesses will shut again, and then they're definitely going to get shut down. So, even if he's looking at it from an economic standpoint, there's a good chance it could still fail totally.
Even looking at it from an economic standpoint, I don't think it's like, people are saying, 98% survivability rate, and it's like, yeah, but if you put the virus in a place where it can spread around people a lot and mutate a lot, it can mutate into an even deadlier strain.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you can have like a super virus on your hand that's just going around the economy, doing all of its damage, killing the entire workforce, and then boom, where is your economy going to go from there?
Well, it's just going to be in the toilet, isn't it, basically? It's just going to be failure, as I say.
It's going to be like 5 people working at Jamba Juice now.
Yeah, I don't know why that made me laugh, but it's like barely anyone there.
Because that 45 other employees are killed by COVID.
Sorry, you lagged then. It really lagged.
Oh, sorry. I just said 45 other employees got killed by COVID out of 50.
Yeah.
So there's only 5 left at Jamba Juice. I shouldn't have over-explained that. I think it was
It's
fine.
fine. No. Oh, I'm gonna keep it in the podcast. It's not like you're spouting off about who you love and who you dislike, so it's all good in the neighbourhood.
I don't know. See, that's what I mean, though. Like, right? It's like, and I know a lot of my own, like, you know, like when you look at my own personal politics, it does seep into the videos, and I know not everybody agrees with it, and that's what I'm just, you know, it's one of those things where it's like people are people. We're not like we don't put ourselves at the top of the pyramid and decide we are now deciders of rule and law. It's kind of just like people watch these videos, I guess.
Well, the way I see it,
same person.
I mean, the way I see it, I agree with some of it. Even if I don't agree with the bits, it still makes me laugh a lot. I laugh my arse off at the Mr. Krabs stuff, you know. I still find it funny, even the bits I don't agree with. I still think, yeah, decent banter. As long as you're not shoving it down people's throats and saying, you have to believe what I believe, otherwise I'll kill you, you know. As long as it's not that.
I find myself slowly inching more and more towards that ideology as time goes on, though. I'm a real. Every single time I see somebody outside without a mask and then they cough, I'm like, I will punch you. I will punch you.
Alright, I wouldn't... I'm not, you know, you don't want to be assaulting people, but I get the anger. Alright, yeah,
okay, I'm not going to actually punch them. I'm a pretty skinny dude. I don't think I'd win many fights.
Yeah, they'd probably, they just break you in half, sadly, bro. Rest in peace.
But it is very frustrating. It's one of those things
I get the anger,
the
yeah.
more I see things going, you know, the more I see, like, the seesaw kind of tip even further and further to the extremities, to both sides, to both extremes, left and right or whatever. It's just like, y'all, can we relax?
Yeah, well, with the mask stuff, I do get the annoying stuff. Why it's annoying, because someone coughs and a bit of those germs get on something, someone touches it, they could die. So, like, I do get the anger. They basically kill someone just because they're too selfish to wear a mask or anything, you know.
Yeah.
So...
That's the thing, right? It's like, believe what you want to believe until it starts affecting my personal and physical health.
Yeah.
Until then, the fists are coming out, you know? It's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's just like, do what you want as long as you're not hurting people. Like, yeah. I'm serious. Like, unless you're not actually hurting real people in, like, you know, either physically or mentally, by denying their existence or denying their right to exist or some way, you know, don't do that.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, with words, I'm not really bothered what people say as long as you're not following someone or harassing someone or beating someone up. As long as you're just standing in a certain place or saying something, you know, it's not too bad. But it depends, you know, it is what it is, isn't it, you know. The mask stuff, it's like actually doing something, which is annoying. Like, they're actually not doing something that they should be doing. It's an action, it's not like a word.
Yeah, and it's like, we have proven science that masks do work now. Just because at first we thought they didn't doesn't mean they don't now. I mean, like, that just means we were wrong the first time. People forget that we can be wrong. Scientists can be wrong.
Yeah, anyone can be. Anyway,
especially like when you're looking at it in real time like this, when we're just learning new things constantly about this stuff, it's like, yeah, we're gonna be wrong the first couple times, but now we're not. But people see the first headline and think, okay, that's the truth.
Yeah, then they're just like bandwagon it and whatever.
And then they'll never have to check again. This will never be updated.
But is it alright if I ask you the thing I really wanted to ask you, bro?
I'm sorry. That was a whole other thing. All right.
So, I do want to bring up Forest Fire later, though, but it's to do with something else. It's not to do with him, it's just to do with his videos and how they've improved over the years.
Cool.
But basically, you know, like, you're 21 and you've got 90k and you've got quite a few views and you've got people you've got probably, in my opinion, like, a really positive fan base. How the hell do you stay humble, bro? Like, how do you keep a straight head on and not go mental and not be like, I'm the man, you know?
Well, it's only been about a year, to be honest, so chances are my true regression has yet to show itself.
So
hopefully not.
So
I hope that doesn't age horribly. Oh my god, can you imagine?
Imagine if you were just like a massive egotist in like 2 years. Like, man.
And then somebody pulls this up and it's like, wow, this aged horribly. You know, now that I think about it, I might just do exactly that, just for the bit. You gotta commit to the bit.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't think you'll go mad. I don't think you'll have a massive ego. Because the thing is, some of the fans actually, like, you know, they're honest. Like, I remember you brought out that, what was it called? They scream but they don't know. And like...
Oh, they scream but they do not know.
And because I didn't understand it, so I was like, that was a bit of a weird video. But, you know, I'll put that in the
That one
Discord.
weirdly got recommended to a lot of people, and now
Yeah.
that has like 300,000 views. And I'm
Yeah,
like, why?
that's pretty crazy. But, you know, it wasn't a bad video, but I was just like, that's a bit confusing. But
I did make it in 2 days.
Oh, 2 days? Bloody hell.
Yeah, it was definitely something, it was definitely like, something like, this is fun, let's see if I can do this quickly.
Oh, cool.
Let's see if I can, like, you know, have, like, you know, just something, like, short and easy to do.
Yeah.
While I think about ideas for, like, whatever next big thing I want to do.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there are definitely like, you know, there's definitely in my projects, there's definitely like things I put a lot of priority in versus like, you know, more side things, I guess.
Bro, I watched your Thack as well, and that was pretty class. The the running race, man. I was like, bloody hell, that was done in like 24 hours. How is this even possible? You know.
Oh, lots of not sleeping.
Oh dear. That sucks. But did you win it then? Because I don't know much about Thack and Brawl and all these competitions.
No, I didn't place. I didn't get top 10. I don't know I don't know if there was like a grand list of like all the entrants ranked. I doubt there would be, because I feel like that could actually be like hurtful to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like younger like participants who are newer to brick filming, who may not be as confident in their abilities. You know, it would suck to see like, you know, like, oh, I'm so excited to see how I place and you got like last. That would suck. So I don't think they rank everything, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a pretty class vid. I haven't watched loads and loads of other entries. I watched, what's his name? William from LOTW Studios. The other podcast you was on, the World of Brick
I
Films.
love William. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, man.
It's his birthday today, actually.
Oh, well, William, if you're watching
Happy
this...
birthday to William.
William, if you're watching this, happy birthday, lad. You see, you know, you're quite laid back. I just love how he's like so chilled, and he never like shows he's never like too emotional about stuff. He's just like and he's never fanboying out. Like
Dude, I love William.
Yeah, like he talks to so many famous people, but like he's like, and I'm here with Forest Fire 101. Hello there. You know, he's so chilled out. Like if it was me, I'd be like, ee! You know, I'd be so happy. I'd be like, but I'd have to compose myself. Because then you just look a bit weird. You know.
I know. I never quite ran into that, to be honest. Being on the other side of that, it's one of those things. Given that I used to be like that, I understand. It's just, you know,
like trust me, Ed. With most celebrities, like if PewDiePie came on, I wouldn't really care. Well, not I wouldn't care, but like I'd be like, all right, mate, and talk to him normally. But like Forrest, his films are so amazing, and he's such a big part of my childhood. That's why I'm more of like that's why I'd probably fanboy out if I was William. You know.
Okay, I see. There's definitely a clear. I feel like you're right in that sense too. And yeah, you know, like I say a lot of like don't like, you know, try and idolize people. But I guess there is definitely like a disconnect, I think, between, you know, like people with huge numbers and people with like, you know, there's no like inherent human value that you lose or anything. But when you're talking, when you're smaller and you're talking to somebody who's much bigger, you definitely feel that divide.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'll tell you something.
This is the first time you're talking to them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, Ed. When I first messaged you on Discord, and I think I asked you about, like, I think it was about a camera, but I was so nervous, I was like, he's going to think I'm so weird asking about a camera. And then I said, you know, that Mr. Krabs video he was so funny in that, bro. But I thought he's going to think I'm some mentalist, but I thought, who cares, you know, it doesn't matter. And you was like really chill. You was like, yeah, it's this camera. No, thanks, bro. Glad you enjoyed. And I was like,
it's an easy question.
Yeah. But the problem is, I've met some people who are like, I said it on this one podcast before, right? I said the machinima community think all of them think they're Martin Scorsese's. Like, not all of them, but like some of them.
So, have you seen machinimas?
I have, but like, come on. Some of them think they're like, compared to the brick filming community. I'm not going to name names, but some people.
A competitive brick filming community?
No. Brick filming, it's like, a lot of people seem humble. You hear Zach MG talk. You hear Twicker Brick talk. Well, Mind Game, sorry. I keep calling him Zach MG all the bloody time.
Isn't that Zach MG is... I call him Zach MG. He used to be known as Zach MG.
Yeah, for years. Like, I used another one I watched when I was a kid, but I wasn't as, like, big fanboy of him, because I just thought... I don't know, you sort of feel like you can relate to Forrest more, because he's like... Zach MG, it seemed like he always had quite a deep voice, but Forrest, he seemed like... When I was a kid, it seemed like, oh, he's a kid as well. Even though I was 7 and he was, like, 13 when I was watching him, but still.
That does add a whole new layer to it, actually, with someone like him, because especially with someone like Forrest, you feel like more so you grow up with them.
Yeah, but I mean, I sent you my video unlisted, and I sounded like 20 when I was 15. So bloody hell, when I was 7, I probably sounded the same age as him. You know? So
this man was 7 years old, like working at a firm.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I had a mustache when I was 11, bro.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like I had.
Damn, this is why I can grow a beard. I can barely grow anything, man. All I got is a dirt stash.
Yeah, it's still, bro. It looks cool. I'm not just saying that, bro. It looks cool. You look a bit like Javier Escuela when you had the long hair and the bit of the tash. It looks cool, seriously.
Damn, I thought I looked like the rich dude from the Lorax when I had.
Oh yeah,
down.
Yeah. I remember you said that. Yeah, but
It's pretty radical.
Yeah. So, but obviously I said about your fan base, but I was going to finish off with asking, right? Oh wait, I already asked how you stay so humble. Do you feel like crazy then? Do you feel like...
Oh, I don't think I actually answered this question directly. I didn't mean to deflect. I didn't mean to just say like, aha, joke. What I wanted to say was I don't think about it a lot, to be honest.
So it doesn't psych you out that you're sort of famous?
Not really. I guess it's because I don't really especially in my personal life, I don't feel any different.
Cool.
You know, I feel like it's one of those weird things where, particularly in high school, I didn't get a lot of attention, especially like, you know, in the early years, grade 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Grade 12, I started getting a little bit more popular, because my friend who, like, you know, we were talking about earlier, and he was he and I were pretty good friends, and he kind of introduced me to the more, you know, like the more, I don't want to say famous, but like, I guess the cooler kids in my high school, and you know, you kind of learn that everybody's actually just pretty nice if you're nice to them first. I had this huge chip on my shoulder because I was bullied in elementary school. I had this huge chip on my shoulder going into high school that everybody was an asshole and that you should just, you know, avoid everybody to survive. And I kind of wish I didn't have this mentality because that in turn led me to treating everybody else like they were an asshole. And people don't like that.
Well, they'll probably be like, well, what have I ever done to this bloke?
Exactly, you know, it's like you go into somebody with like a predetermined mentality because of the way you're treated or because, you know, your own like childhood issues, and that in turn is like a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know? Mm-hmm. So, you know, like in grade 12, like I definitely mellowed out a lot by then. I felt like I was a lot nicer and I felt like I could be a lot more open and, you know, I just made people laugh. And that's pretty much all it took.
Fair play then.
And then like, I actually got invited to parties.
Nice.
I actually was able to like make a lot of friends, and it's one of those things though. Like now that that sort of like period is over, and I'm kind of dealing like but like, you know, with like 90K and stuff. I don't think it's that much. I don't think it's crazy or anything like life changing. It's just the same life that I was living kind of pre all this, except now I'm home a lot more.
Okay. I mean, I remember you said to me, glad you do YouTube as a job because you don't have to leave the house for it. You can just like chill out, do what you want to do mostly. So that's cool.
I will say, yeah, the benefits it has given me more so, I guess, in my day-to-day. It's definitely something I'm very appreciative of because I used to work at some very crappy jobs.
Do you want to talk about that a bit? Like, don't mention any names, but like, obviously you can.
Oh, I'll mention some names. I don't care, man. I don't care about these people. I don't care about any of my past employers. Amazon, you already know all about that. I will set fire to every Amazon warehouse if I have to. With the people outside of it, obviously. With the people out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please don't hurt anyone.
Maybe even the packages too. Just because, you know, I guess these people should get their packages on time. But, you know, once all that's cleared out, it's going down.
Well, don't, as I say, don't be burning my DVDs, man. You know.
Yeah, I'll make sure everybody get their packages first. But after that, no more.
Yeah. I mean...
I'm tired of Bezos making $14 billion in one day and he uses that money to install a bunch of cameras in warehouses to make sure you're always working. Because if you're not, you get docked pay. If you're standing around too long, if you're sitting too long, you get your pay docked. While this dude is making $14 billion in a day, while I am on my feet for 8 hours in a warehouse from 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., only 2 breaks. It's just like, bro, there are moments legit where I was like, I'd rather die than be here on the floor.
You're serious, bro? Bloody hell.
Oh, it sucked. I hated it because you couldn't bring your phone in. You couldn't bring your music in. You couldn't. It was literally just like a gray warehouse at night. Nobody could talk to each other because if you do, you get your pay docked. It's
that is absolutely That is absolutely rank, bro. That is so lame.
You know, people have actually died on the floor, right?
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, people. It's one of those crazy things. People
Well,
have died on Amazon warehouse floors, have been left there for like have had their body left there for up to 30 minutes or 2 hours. I've heard.
Oh, God.
Despite the fact that there are cameras everywhere that watch you, I heard stories of of a dude who literally took a 5-minute break to go to the bathroom, and he was approached by management saying, "What the fuck were you doing there for 5 minutes, huh?" Meanwhile, dude can be laying on the floor for 2 hours and not be noticed, or 30 minutes. I forget which one.
Did they actually say what the fuck were you doing? Were they that aggressive, or did they say?
No, they weren't. No, there's obvious. Okay, I feel like I should mention. In particular, whenever I'm talking for somebody in situations like this, there's definitely
it's not a quote, yeah. It's not an
But so far, everything else I've said, especially in my own experience, that's true. They had cameras everywhere. You can't stand around for too long or sit around for too long. Otherwise, you get your pay docked. You can't bring your phone in. Otherwise, they think you're stealing. Even though, I can show you my phone right here. Boom, look at all these pictures. Look at all these memories. I got them all right here. Amazon was definitely the worst job I've ever worked. And it's one of those... Amazon was a job that's so bad that it makes you look at the whole system in general and think, how can it get this bad? And I feel like that's why a lot of people aren't necessarily... sort of, I guess, this vehemently opposed to the way things are. It's because until you work at a place like Amazon, you'll just never know.
Ed, now, obviously, I was watching this documentary about Amazon, and they were exposing them a bit, but I have heard of a few people that work or know a bit about it, and they've said, this is just in England, by the way, I'm sure it might be different in Canada or America or, but... They said
I was telling you about the guy dying on the floor was actually in the UK.
Oh, it was in the UK? Bloody hell. But anyway, people have said 4 days on. No, 3 days on. No, what is it? 3 days on and 3 days off or something, and it's quite chilled out. But I suppose that's just
4 days. It was 4 days a week for me.
Oh no, 4 days, 3 days off. That's it.
I knew some people who work there all week though.
Oh bloody hell.
Some people just really needed the money.
Got in, but there you go. Was there any chance of a promotion at all, or did they keeping people down?
No, there's a very high turnover rate actually.
What does that mean?
So a lot of people went in and went out because they realized how crappy it was.
Oh, so
I guess people will argue see that you're just exercising your civil rights or whatever, but it's it shouldn't have to be this bad. I knew people who worked there literally every day of the week because they had to make ends meet. And that's the kind of thing, right? You have employers and stuff holding your bills hostage in a sense. They're you want to pay this. You want to live in your house. You better work for me. Get to the floor.
Well,
I make $14 billion in a day.
Well, what I was going to ask as well. The managers, did they work hard or were they lazy?
It depends what manager you're talking about. So my manager, for example, was definitely was pretty chill because he was right there with me and he knew all the bullshit too. He was he was around his 40s and he had a lot of interesting stories to tell because he kind of grew up in I think impoverished neighborhood, so there was a lot more violence in that area, and a lot more policing too. So he saw some stuff and he was telling me all about it. And I'm thinking to myself damn bro, you've been in the gutter now for 40 years and now you're here when in the same spot I am at 17. It kind of sucks. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
He did get fired too, actually, because he did break a few rules, and I'm it's one of those things where it's I can see why he broke those rules because, this sucks.
Yeah.
I quit after 2 weeks.
Now, I'm not trying to wind you up or anything, bro, but was there anything good about working there? Can you think of one little thing?
One little thing that was good about working there?
Were the people nice? I don't know.
You didn't really get to talk to the people.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, you said they always have a go at you for talking.
Yeah, they didn't let you. So the only time I really got to interact with them was on the break, which was a 30-minute break. You get every at 11:30 and at 2 o'clock. So that was the only time I was able to really socialize with them. But I wasn't really talking to a lot of people because middle of the night, everybody was just tired. Everybody just wanted to be on their phones or eat something. Yeah. So there wasn't a whole lot of talking going on. I think the only good part about it was actually the fact that because I worked up until 6 a.m., I did get to see the sunrise in the morning,
which is pretty nice.
On the drive back home, ironically, the best part of this job was just going home.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it was out on the countryside too. So driving in the long countryside while watching the sunrise, it was pretty nice, especially after a long shift. Mm-hmm. But that was probably the only good thing about it, and it wasn't even technically like associated with the job itself, you know.
Yeah, well, I can tell when you're that passionate and angry about that Amazon place, it must have not been that nice, particularly. Were they understaffed? Were they understaffed, or is it just all like the bad rules and all that?
It was understaffed too. We had like 7 people sweeping the floor.
Oh.
Cause I was like, I wasn't technically working for Amazon themselves. I was working for a company that was hired by Amazon to clean the warehouses. So I was technically a janitor.
Oh, okay.
But like looking at the people who actually worked at Amazon and was doing the packaging and stuff, like you could see it in their face. They're miserable. Like there's like nothing to be had about this. And you can see like these fake dudes, you know, who are hired to sort of keep the morale up. And they'd be like, "Come on, guys, it's Amazon Prime Day. We gotta get these orders
God, bloody hell!"
And it's like, I don't see you working. You know,
I hate people who are that hype. They should just have banter with you or try and be nice. You're taking interest, and you're not saying, "Oh, come on, guys, come on, let's get hyped up for the day." Oh, shut up.
It's like, no, this doesn't hype me up. I want to kick you in the ribs. It's just like, but my actual boss, like the person who was actually in charge of what I was doing, he was pretty cool, I think, because he was essentially doing the same thing I was. There was just because he was my supervisor doesn't mean he had any more like, you know, he wasn't taking a break or anything. He was legit like sweeping there alongside me, and he knew how much it sucked. And the only reason he was cool is because I think it's because he knew how much it sucked. And when I was really tired, I remember there was one point where I was legit just like, I don't think I can do this. I will die at like 5 a.m. And he's like, you know what? Just take the last hour off. You know,
that's good of him. That's nice of him.
You know, I get it too. Just go ahead. I'm like, awesome.
Well, I suppose there should be a lot more companies making inspections in these type of horrible workplaces than if everything you're saying is true.
Well, who do you think is making all these horrible workplaces? It's the companies who hire the inspectors.
Oh, that's a shame then. But yeah, I'm a bit I thought Amazon, I thought we'd have it more regulated in England, to be fair. I thought there'd be in a lot of trouble for that person dying for 30 minutes. You know, that's absolutely horrific. Well, no, I mean dead on the floor for 30 minutes, sorry. They died, but then they're... I mean, that is horrific. I'm a bit disgusted.
It is horrific.
But, you know, these things happen, I suppose, if it's really awful. I know some people don't have a choice, but maybe while you're working there, apply for something else. Just apply for other jobs like a madman. You know,
people do say that. People say if you don't like where you work, just go find another place to work. But the thing is, every other job I've had similar levels of management abuse. So it's like, where can I go?
But you're probably not going to die on the floor at other places.
That's a good point.
But at the end of the day, bro, you know, I've grown up. It's all been... You know, my parents have worked their asses off, but I have grown up like sort of lower, middle class. Like I have had some bad stuff happen, and I've been bullied when I was a kid, and it wasn't very nice. And there's been some bad stuff, but at the end of the day, financially, I've had it decently, you know. But it's been all hard work, bro. But I've never been lazy. I always give it my all. But obviously, I was gonna say like you grew up dirt poor, didn't you, bro? You like.
I wasn't like in poverty. Again, I had a decent home life growing up.
Oh, that's good then.
My dad was never home. My dad was always working. Maybe that's a story for another day. But sometime around my teenager years, like early, like preteen, like when I was 12, 13, my parents split. And so that kind of like shoved us into a completely different economic state.
No, that's a shame.
I think, but it wasn't like a huge downgrade or anything. But at the same time, I never felt really wealthy or poor. Just
okay.
In the middle.
Oh.
It's like
that's
I
alright
ask for things, and like, you know, it's like the shelf, you know, like the most I can randomly ask for, is something that was like $20 at most, like, you know, at random, you know, in the middle of July for no reason, and be like, hey, can I have this? And be like $20, and my mom be like, yeah, okay, we can afford that.
Oh, okay.
And like for Christmas, if it was over $200, it's like, yeah, it's not happening.
No.
It was just like one of those like families, but it's like it wasn't horrifyingly impoverished. Like I didn't get, it's not like I had to like, you know, eat dust. For dinner every day.
You could always have food then and afford food, and there was a nice meal and all that, wasn't there? So
there was definitely an absence of a lot of luxury. For example, like I didn't have a car growing up.
Oof.
So my mom would taxi everywhere, and then when I was in high school, I'd bus. Which, you know, went on into college. I'd bus to college too.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
So yeah, there wasn't like, you know, there wasn't money for a car or anything, really just, I think the car was like the biggest thing that I definitely felt the absence of in my life, because in high school, my commute was about an hour.
Oh, Bloody hell.
And I would watch like all my homies like get on like get in there get picked up from school, and I'd be like, damn, bro, that must be the life.
Do you think all this like decent amount of adversity has contributed to you just being a workhorse with the brick filming? Because there aren't any other brick filmers who are pumped it out once a week, apart from that one dude.
A decent amount of adversity. I don't mean to take offense.
I don't want to assume. I don't.
I'm not taking offense.
Yeah.
Or anything. Don't worry. It's just I thought that particular line was funny.
Yeah.
Not in like a what do you mean kind of way, but
Yeah.
haha, like the way Adam Sandler has made me laugh in his classic films. Like,
oh, good. I was worried I offended you a bit then.
No, don't worry about it. It's not. No, it's like I think when it comes to the brick films, I am more of a work. I guess I don't know what I consider it, but I make more stuff more often. I think because I think working on a project for too long can burn you out on it. At least that's what I find.
Yeah.
Because there are definitely moments in a very long project where I'm kind of just like, yeah, I want this to be over,
Yeah, because I remember I messaged you saying, come on, Ed. Well, I didn't say it like this, but like, bro, come on, more videos like the grocery shopping one. And you were like, well, I felt pretty burnt out from it. And I was like, oh, fair enough.
Yeah, by the end of that, I remember specifically by the end of that one, I'm just like, I've been working on this for like almost a month now. I kind of just want it to be out.
It's
also like, also with like the whole YouTube algorithm pressure, it's like you have to keep the volleyball up.
Yeah.
If you drop it once, you die.
How did you manage to get that done in 3 weeks? Because that baffled me. That it was at the end of the video. Because that was one of the first videos I watched at yours. Because in the stop motion server, there was like, I was like, who's got the most?
I've known you for a lot longer than that. Very strange.
I know, man. It feels like a bit of time, quite a bit of time. But
I guess just Corona kind of warps time.
But yeah. When in the stop motion server, they said, "Oh, the most famous person's Edbound." I was like, "Oh, cool, let's watch his stuff." And then I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing! Bloody hell! I bet he worked on this for ages. All the fighting and the movements, and all the sound effects, and the different voice actors, and all the stuff going on in the background at the start. I thought it took quite a bit of time, like 3 months. But then you said, "I've been working on this for 3 weeks now," and and I was like, 3 weeks! I was like, bloody hell. No, this took me 3 weeks.
Well, for one thing, I guess I try and get some work done every day.
Yeah.
And like not like at least like maybe I don't know 10 or 15 seconds ish.
Mhm.
If it's like if it's manageable, if it's possible. Some days I'm only able to get up to like only 3 or 4, especially if it's like a very action heavy scene.
Yeah.
That's why like Shepherd Samurai took so long, is because every day I'd only be able to head about 4 seconds, because that one was very action oriented.
Yeah, I loved all the flames, and the ending was so funny with Peter Griffin being like, "Oh, that's horrible."
I really like Shepherd Samurai.
Yeah.
That's one that I feel like pretty confident in, like going forward in life. I can look back. Yeah,
It lagged a bit then, bro. What did you say? You said I feel pretty confident. Then it like lagged a bit.
Oh, so I said Shepherd Samurai is like one of those that I feel like pretty confident in, like going in the future. Like when I'm 30 or something, just being able to look back on it and be like, yeah, this was pretty epic.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome with all the stuff going on in the background, and there was like the panning was really cool. The camera movements, like when she was jumping up the stairs, it felt like she was jumping up the stairs. It didn't feel like step. It felt like bum bum bum.
It felt like what?
It felt like she was really like jumping up the stairs. It felt like the movements were really exaggerated, and then he comes.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. I really wanted to like make it all look very alive and like bouncy, kind of.
Bro, I know this sounds weird, but like I thought your scream at the end was hilarious. I don't know why.
I can't lie. I love screaming.
Yeah.
I find it's very fun, and I think like I don't care how many times you put a scream in. If you put it at the right place, it will always make me laugh.
Yeah, but the thing is,
always
the way that samurai looked, he looked like quite an old man. You wouldn't expect your scream to come out of that old man,
That's what I mean, right? Like like I guess it doesn't matter how many times you repeat something. If you put it at the right time and place, it can keep just as much of its original charm.
Yeah, it was good because you could see like his silhouette, and then it shook a bit. Then he was like, ah! and then he blew up, obviously. How did she kill him then? Because I still can't understand how she killed him. Did she just slice him or something? And then he blew up?
She did kind of just like, she just landed a critical hit.
Oh, okay, and then it said KO. Bon appetit.
KO.
And then she was like, here's your meal. Bon appetit. And he was like, this is horrible. You know, all the stuff, I'm not trying to be too nice or anything, but all the stuff was, like, written really well, man. A lot of the videos seemed like the scripts are really good, considering they come out in, like, 1 week as well.
I think it's weird because before you actually voice act the script, I think it's kind of hard to tell when you're just reading it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's why I say to make sure you voice act before you animate or anything, because once you do all the voice acting and you sort of construct all the voice acting together to make the radio edit, you can really get like an understanding of what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Like with timing, with line delivery, and even with like what the line even is, you can. Like, once you build the bridge, you'll be able to see any holes that need to be plugged up, and you can kind of go back in the script and plug them. That's one of the reasons why I also don't get many voice actors either, because my scripts do change a lot, like that. Yeah. And, like, sometimes at like 5 a.m., I'm like, oh, I gotta go up to my microphone and be like, how dare you do this to me, or whatever, Yeah. And I can't expect somebody, I can't really expect a lot of people to do that, especially, like, if I can only communicate them with email. Especially if it's like like a Saturday night and like I need it like quickly, otherwise everything collapses.
Yeah, good point. To be fair,
because when I say things like change like that, I mean like they change quickly and like all throughout the week as I'm making it.
Yeah, I get it. And like obviously not everyone's going to be available at 5 a.m. in Canada, are they, or wherever? Wherever.
Or like so that's why So there have been times where I've been able to get around this specifically, and I think it's been a while since I actually had a video with a lot of voice acting in it. Because Chef vs. Samurai didn't have much. But even like, just constructing it from the start, I think is a better way going forward.
Mm.
And like being able to stick to it, just like, figuring out the radio edit, and that way I can figure out, if it works, and I can get other voice actors a part of it too, and be like, okay, I can just replace my voice acting with theirs for a character I already voiced, and wrote if I think they fit better in it. And I definitely have been thinking about that, especially with this like whole Spider-Man War, thing that I'm doing, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, that might be pretty cool because you said it's a 3-parter.
Oh yeah,
bro.
I did a 3-parter.
Bro, at first when you first told me, I was like gutted because I thought, oh, he's not going to do that World War One anymore, and I was like, oh.
I am still doing World War One.
Yeah, but I'm
like in real life.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm just kidding. Not as a video or anything, but I mean, like, I'm actually gonna go start it again just for fun.
Yeah, fair enough then.
So you better watch out. I know you live in Europe, and.
But yeah.
Sorry, this joke is not too long.
You know that thing I went on about with Forest Fire that I wanted to bring up. Like, I'm pretty sure it's been mentioned before on World of Brick Films, but isn't it amazing how like his video with Indiana Jones and Mutt and Short Round, and then you had that Harry Potter one after that, and the quality difference was insane, and it just kept getting better and better and better and better from there.
Oh, which one exactly are you talking about? I know there are quite a few Harry Potter ones.
It's the one right before the Harry Potter remade trailer.
The trailer, I think that's when you can really start noticing, whoa, the production is getting pretty crazy.
But it's great, but what's sad though is that his most viewed videos are ones that only took like a day to make, like the Duck Song, or ones where there's...
That is just how it is, dude. That is legit just how it is. Doesn't matter if you're on YouTube, doesn't matter if you're in the 1900s, it doesn't matter where you are in time, history, or platform, because for some reason all of your shit posts will do exponentially better than the things you spend a crazy amount of time on. That's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, Cardi B's arse will probably get like 1 billion views, but like some brilliant, amazing artistic masterpiece might get like a few thousand if they're lucky.
That's just, I mean, like, what you can't really. It's one of those things where it's like if you can't beat him, join him.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Cardi B's arse. She's got a nice arse, even though it's fake. But like, it's
Damn, bro, the Cardi B slander. I'm not. Wait a second. Didn't she do something? I forget. I think for some reason, I think she was actually in trouble for some reason. I don't remember enough.
I'll just
to make a whole tangent about it.
There is. I'll tell you what happened, Ed. I didn't know about this till the True Geordie and Lawrence brought it up. I'm guessing you don't know those guys because not many people in America and Canada know them. Do you know them, True Geordie?
I don't know them.
Oh, never mind then. So basically, they said about how Cardi B was boasting, saying, "I drugged men." Oh no! I was pretending to be a.
It was that. Yeah, it was that. It was she would drug men and have sex with them or something.
No, she drugged them. No, so basically she was a hooker and they thought they were going to get it off with her, and then she drugged them and run off with their stuff, and she was boasting about it.
Oh, she drug and robbed them.
Yeah, and True Geordie. I'm not entirely sure though, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And True Geordie said if some bloke celebrity did this and he was boasting about it, he'd be finished. But she can still make songs and be successful and do all this stuff.
I don't think that's really the case because that's how a lot of people coming down on her for that.
No, they are, but that's just what the True Geordie said. I mean, I'm coming down on her right now. I'm sure you're not approving of this behaviour.
Yeah, like that's not.
That's just what the True Geordie said, though. That's just what he said.
I think it's because we see a lot of it's because guys see a lot of stuff like, oh, men are trash, this and that, whatever. So they think like the whole narrative is against them, but we kind of forget like the years of things that we've done to that men have done to women, and it's kind of like. Well, this is like a very non-violent sort of retaliation that I know doesn't necessarily. I know it doesn't. Like, you know, it's like when I see a post that says men are trash, I don't think, well, I'm a man and I'm not trash. I just think we have a history of being trash, but I'm pretty confident that this post is not about me because I'm pretty confident my own behavior isn't trash, you know?
Yeah, fairs. But it's pretty
easy.
The way I see it, Ed, well, I think most people, well, quite a few people see it like this, is that it doesn't matter what gender you are, it's just about how you act. That's all it is, really.
That's the thing, too, yeah. I see a lot of people saying, you know, if it was a woman doing this, you know, she'd be getting off scot-free. Bro, you know I was talking about Smash Bros. Earlier? There was a woman in the Smash scene, I can't speak, in the Smash scene named Cindy Pie. She was 24, and she had a sexual relationship with, like, a 14-year-old. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it was gross. And this was found out around the same time as that other guy, and nobody was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, girl." You know?
Yeah, there was
like,
also like,
what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? That's a kid, bro. You're a pedophile. Get out of here. Get out. Shoot.
Bravo. That's good. That is
people
good.
Don't just change their morals because you're a girl or a guy doing these things. People have, you know, it's pretty split down the middle.
Yeah,
it's a lot of, like with most general societal frowny faces, you know.
Well, what I will say, Geordie, you're not listening to this, but if you are listening to this, listen to what Edbound's saying. Decent point. Alright then, we are back. Just a bit of a sidetrack. But yeah, back on track. So,
back on track.
I was going to ask you, man, what do you like about being a brick filmer compared to, like, I don't know, if someone was a vlogger or a Twitch streamer or anything like that?
One of the reasons why I'm a brick filmer is because I like making videos or like, you know, like just stories and stuff, but I never really had people or like actors around to really like, you know, make stuff with.
Yeah.
My friends were never really into that. They never really wanted to be in stuff. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'll do it all. I was like Thanos, you know, with the glove. Fine, I'll do it myself. And I just, you know, got all these Lego pieces. They act really great as actors as well because I don't have to actually like, you know, tell them everything to do. I can just make them do whatever I want them to do.
Yeah.
That's another thing I really like about brick filming is kind of like the level of control that you kind of get with everything involved. Some people might think it's like, you know, a lot, I guess, with stop motion especially. But there is a nice like sense to know that you're behind the wheel and everything, and that whatever happens is within your control. Even if it is a mistake, it's in your control to fix it.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing that limits you is yourself.
Very true, man. Because like with people showing up like for real life skits or short films, say if like you've got a main actor you're relying on and they say, I'm not coming, sorry, just pull out at the last second, then you're screwed. Everyone's just made the effort for nothing, you know.
Yeah.
But with brick filming, there's none of that applies, does it? Because you've got all the figures, you've got all the you know,
exactly.
The set. But the only thing that can apply sort of is like if a voice actor voices a bit and says, oh, I'm not doing it anymore. That throws a big wheel in the machine. Well, a big cog in the machine. But, you know, it's whatever, really.
That can be a big, yeah. But that's not as difficult to fix.
Yeah, you can just kill them off. So, you know. But, yeah.
It's all, like, although there's definitely, like, a lot more sort of, like, you need to keep track of. You do have a lot more control in general.
Mm-hmm. Fairs.
Which is pretty nice, I think, especially like, you know, especially like with something like, you know, film. it can be kind of difficult to really make people understand what you want them to do or what you're seeing in your head.
Yeah.
Unless you're like really good at directing, I guess. But I haven't really directed much. So when you're animating something, you can kind of just think about what you want and just kind of put it to screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of just animate the screen.
Well, voice acting's a lot easier because all it really. I mean, I think I sent you this interview, but Aang, the guy who played Aang, Zach Tyler, isn't it? Zach. It's Zach. I can't remember his name.
He wasn't getting a lot of work after Aang, huh?
No, I know, but like he was saying how much he loved being a voice actor because all he had to do was drive up to the studio and say loads and loads and loads and loads of lines. That's all. And he said he loved it, and people don't know who he is. He can walk about and no one will harass him, so he loves it. Even though he's had barely any work apart from like Avatar, Ant Bully, and a couple other things, little
Still
things.
a pretty good resume.
I mean, to be honest, to be 12 years old and put on performances like that is nothing.
Oh yeah, Aang's voice acting, like I don't think he gets enough credit because man, I think it's one of those things that don't get enough credit because good voice acting especially goes unnoticed.
Well,
It's supposed to.
When I was like 14 and I rewatched Avatar, I thought to myself, he's probably just some 16-year-old with a high voice, but no, he was only 12, and you think, how did a 12-year-old pull off such emotion and character with so many lines? It's like, fair play, man.
Especially in like season 3 too, like damn.
Yeah, like obviously he's 3 years older, but still, it's like, bloody hell. To pull all this off with all the pressure of Nickelodeon saying, come on, you got to do like this, and not...
Especially, like, yeah, and there's moments in season 1, too, like, when he was taking out the Fire Nation ships, and he's like, I can't, there's too many of them, and I'm like, damn, this actually sounds exactly like a kid.
Yeah.
In a war. It's like, whoa. Like, damn, bro. You really, like, because he's so powerful, you forget that he's only 12 years old.
Yeah, well, technically he's 112, but yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't play this card often, but I'm the Avatar. I love him. I love Aang. Aang was my favorite character on my rewatch.
Really? Damn.
Aang is so cool. I love Aang.
Fair play, man.
I don't know how you can not like him.
No, I do like him, but I prefer like Iroh and Zuko. They're my number one. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
They're the only.
I can see why. I can like definitely like the main cast. I love it because everybody has a different favorite.
Yeah.
Except for girls, they all love Zuko.
Yeah. But the scenes between like Iroh singing about his son, that was beautiful.
Oh my god.
And you know the bit when Zuko's like, I'm so sorry that I disappointed you, and he just hugged him and there was tears in his eyes. That was like one of the most.
I was like, yeah,
honestly.
dude, this is your actual, you were right when you called him your actual father, who's been more like a father to me than you ever been. I love his speech to Fire Lord Ozai too.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh man, it's so good.
But Iroh's he's my favourite character for that reason. How he could still forgive Zuko after all that horrible stuff he did at the end of season 2. He looked past it and said, no, I wasn't disappointed. I was
afraid you lost your way.
Yeah, and that is it shows that Iroh's just a true gem, and it's gutting that his voice actor passed away before.
Dude, it goes back to what he said to his son too on the hill. If only I could have saved you as well. I'm assuming he thinks he saved Zuko at that point, you know?
Yeah.
But he's just sad that he lost his own son to like sort of this nationalism and to this war that the Fire Nation was like waging.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what snapped him out of it. It's like, having that loss like that. Mm-hmm. And it hurts. And that's why he hugged him. That's why he could forgive Zuko no matter what. Because it's like anything, as long as he can come back to me and I can still give you a hug, it's cool. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah, such a good show, man. Like, it was so fun watching that when I was 5 to 8 years old. I was like, this is one of the coolest things ever. Like, it's definitely in my top 10 shows of all time, because
Avatar is so good.
There's just I really need to watch Korra though. Everyone's saying it's half decent and pretty good, and I'm like, I need to watch it, but it's just
I like Korra. I think Korra is good on a technical standpoint. With all I guess its animation budget got cut, but man, some of the music and how it's used to elevate, especially the fight scenes in season 3 and 4. It's like, damn, bro, this is epic,
Yeah. Is there any?
Story's not as good though.
Oh, okay. Would you want to see like a show in the past, like they did one years in the future? Would you want to see one like maybe Aang has a cheeky cameo at the end of the show?
maybe a Kyoshi series. Me and my girlfriend were always talking about how much we want to see like an Avatar Kyoshi. That'd
be quite cool. Kyoshi Warriors.
They did make the novels though.
Oh, okay.
I'd also want to see, I don't know, like what an Avatar does during like peace times, like Avatar Kuruk. Because he was kind of just chilling, and then his wife got her face stolen.
Oh, bloody hell.
Out of nowhere. He was like, but there's no war. There's nothing going on in the world.
Bit creepy.
The balance was already kept. The heck? Must have sucked.
What was your thoughts on the live action one? How disappointing was that, man?
Dude, I have war flashbacks to seeing that, man, when it first came out.
Yeah.
Because my mom and I would both love the show a lot, and we're excited for the movie, so we saw it on opening day. And boy, oh howdy, I was only 11 years old, but I knew how much it sucked, you know.
It is just
That's
gutting.
how bad it was.
Because Shyamalan's done some half decent stuff like Armageddon and Unbreakable, but apart from that, it's all weird. But Last Airbender, I don't know why they bloody gave it to him. Like, for goodness sake, didn't have any bloody selection of directors. Didn't anyone want to direct this thing that could have potentially been a masterpiece? Like, for goodness sake, they had some of the best source material ever, and they just gave it to this bloke who made 2 decent films, who was clearly alright, but clearly not up to the task, you know.
I heard his daughter was watching it, and he got interested in the project because he saw it with his daughter.
Oh, okay.
He saw it. He saw Avatar: The Last Airbender on, like, I don't know, TV or something, and he was like, I found my next victim.
Oh, never mind, man. But it's like, I know this is quite random to bring up, but it's like, you know how because you're a fan of SpongeBob Battle Bikini Bottom, aren't you? I swear you said it on a stream before.
Oh yeah, that's my Banjo-Kazooie. That's the Banjo-Kazooie
Yeah.
that, like, people my age had. Because we were too young for Banjo-Kazooie.
But, some SpongeBob games, like Flying Dutchman, they couldn't give a toss about the source material. Same with, like, SquarePants Atlantis, they didn't care. I know it's really geeky that I'm talking about games I played.
Oh, I know all about the SpongeBob games, man.
What a lad.
Pants?
Well, yeah, that was sick. That was a good party game. But anyway, some of them did not care for the source material. I mean, I watched a review for Hero Pants. I haven't played a SpongeBob game since 2012, but I've obviously looked into, like, reviews and all that. But I did play loads of games. Creature from Krusty Krab was okay. That was decent. Bit weird.
I think I actually only played the movie game, Battle for Bikini Bottom, and Lights Camera Pants.
Fair enough. But anyway, point is, Heavy Iron cared about the source material. There was little bits and pieces, and you knew that they were fans. They cared. But like Flying Dutchman and Hero Pants, they probably never watched the show. They thought it was a bloody talking cheese and some starfish who had and some starfish who had like severe problems in the head. Sadly, that's probably what they thought it was. You know, and some bloke with horrible like Squidward who's just depressed, and Mr. Krabs who's just an evil greedy bastard. That's probably what they thought. Well, that's a lot of that isn't half wrong, to be fair.
It's like I guess, you know, they're taking their character extremes to extremes that wouldn't make sense for the character.
Yeah. But like they're just obviously I'm just over exaggerating it for a laugh. They didn't actually like do it like that, but they didn't care for the characters. They made them just do nothing. It was like they didn't give the voice actors any directions how to say things, and it was just it just felt weird. But there's been a lot of crap SpongeBob episodes where the characters have acted out of place compared to series 1, 2 and 3. Like when I watched series 4 onwards, I watched from series 4 till probably whatever series I was in 2011, and then I just was fed up. I thought, this is a load of shit, why do I still watch it? So
yeah, SpongeBob definitely wasn't like it definitely lost a lot of its writing capabilities after season 3, but that's not like an uncommon opinion.
Yeah,
everybody knows.
Everyone.
It got way too into the gross out humor, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Squidward torture porns and making Patrick 10 times.
Oh yeah, the Squidward torture.
I mean, there was one where Plankton was going to commit suicide because Mr. Krabs was messing with him, saying, "Oh, Pearl's going to eat you," or something. And what else happened? They were making suicide jokes with Squidward, and it's like, you're making a joke out of serious issues, you idiots. You know.
Damn.
Like, it's fine if it's done in a smart way or whatever, or if it's meant to be taken seriously, but if you're making jokes out...
You have to, like, look at who you're laughing at in situations like this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, bro. I was going to bring up a decent point, though, right? Because I've always said for years it should have ended with a film with him becoming manager. SpongeBob was a workaholic. He absolutely loved being at work for some reason. Don't know why, he got treated like crap. He got paid. Mr. Krabs didn't even pay him. He didn't even... I think he gave him a raise like once.
It's like love of making burgers, I think, honestly. He just loved doing it.
Thing is, he could have gone to work at any other fast food establishment in Bikini Bottom. They would have paid him top dollar, but instead he bloody chose to work at that shithole. Like, I think even...
What other fast food establishments were there aside from the Chum Bucket? I don't think I remember seeing...
he could have worked at the Chum Bucket and he probably would have got paid at least $1 an hour. Plankton's a bit of a tit as well, so who knows.
Yeah, he's definitely like a tyrant himself.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not a successful one.
Yeah. But anyway, I was saying it should have ended there because it was a perfect end to his character arc with him and Patrick going on a mad adventure and then coming
The
back.
whole adventure.
Yeah. And then, but I was thinking, if they'd ended it there, would we still be talking about SpongeBob now, or would there be to say about it? Good show.
Oh, I think we would. I still think we would because like I mean like you got shows like that only get like 3 seasons like Avatar.
Yeah,
that
and
I'm
we
talking about to this day. I mean we just spent an entire we just spent a whole segment talking about that. SpongeBob was definitely one of those shows that had that staying power and the replay value to sort of like continuously stay with us even if it was reruns.
yeah. I mean, I remember when I was like, I checked Nickelodeon when I was like straight after I stopped watching it, and obviously you know this anyway, but like it's all just SpongeBob. Like when I was 12, I checked it and I was like, what the bloody hell's going on?
Cartoon Network is all Teen Titans Go, isn't it?
No idea. Haven't looked at that in ages. In forever.
That's what I hear about Cartoon Network though. It's just all Teen Titans Go.
Yeah. I was just going to ask another question though. Or do you have anything else to say about SpongeBob or Airbender or?
Nah, but I guess that's the thing with like really popular properties. They stay too popular for too long, and they just start nosediving in quality.
Yeah. Anyway, you said you enjoy doing like I remember it was in a video or a stream. You prefer like doing things with Lego City characters rather than like Marvel, or you prefer like the Area 51 videos where you said something like you like doing Area 51 stuff with normal characters rather than like already established.
I think both are fun. I think what I actually was saying was that it was the movies that aren't as interesting to make on my end.
Oh, okay.
Like the movies in minutes, I think, because it feels kind of like a recreation. Although, of course, I still have creative liberty with it, with like the jokes I can tell and like the ways to make fun of it. There's always like this wasn't actually as accurate, or this was different in this minute way, or you missed this scene or that scene. It's like, yeah, but it's not really the point.
Yeah.
Also, I think just like those videos in general, because they're like a bit more of a like sort of like I feel like they're a bit more fast foodish, so therefore like the quality in them isn't as good either.
Yeah, I get you. But so like, will you ever do any movies in so many minutes? It'd be so cool if you did Star Wars, but obviously you've said before you're not really as fussed about that.
I don't have many Star Wars Legos.
Bro, they're kicking it up with the I haven't bought any Lego since like the 212 Battle Pack, and I think that was 2014. But because I already had quite a bit of Lego, so I was like, oh, there's no point in buying any more. I've got enough for my brick films that I wanted to do at the time. But yeah, the new I'm still researching into it, and the new battle packs look quite cool. They've made a 501st one. The like blue soldiers from Revenge of the Sith, like the blue ones, and they've never made any of those figures before. So
that's what I also don't get is that there's like a billion different colored like clone troopers, and it's like which ones are the real ones anymore? Especially in Lego.
Well, you haven't watched the prequels, have you? The Star Wars prequels.
I watched Revenge of the Sith, and I watched The Phantom Menace, but I didn't watch all of it. I couldn't watch all of it. I'm sorry.
That's fair enough. Attack of the Clones, the clones had Phase 1 armour because they'd just been made, and the Camino people, I think, they put the armour on them, but then in Episode 3 they just gave them a makeover, and the reason why there's loads of different clones, there's people who, there's snipers, there's a bomber squad, there's the 501st Division which belongs to someone, there's 212 Division, so there is always a difference, they're not just different colours for the sake of it.
Damn, so this is like the military.
Yeah, basically, it's not every clone the same, it's like all sorts of stuff going on, bro.
It's kind of funny because technically every clone is the same because they're all Jango Fett.
Oh yeah, exactly. They're all him. He's coming back
they're all different but the same. Just like all of humanity.
Yeah.
Every global conflict has just been solved.
Philosophy in it.
What if we just turn on the news, everybody in the world giving each other hugs?
That'd be beautiful.
Then 2 weeks later, everybody in the world dying of coronavirus.
Oh. That'd be quite depressing. But
what a spin, huh?
You've just killed everyone, Ed. I'm not being affiliated with you anymore. Goodbye. No.
At least we had world peace.
Yeah, true, for a short time.
Wouldn't that be the most ironic way to end human existence? Through world peace?
I mean,
That's the thing that extends everybody?
it'd be better than everything getting sucked into a black hole or just getting blown up.
Oh yeah, or nuked.
Yeah. So.
I guess. One giant party, just like with everybody in the world, everybody's kind of just chilling.
What would you do if it was the end of the world? How would you spend that last day then?
Oh god, imagine if you're like on a bus. And news of meteors coming in like 5 minutes, and you're just like, you gotta be kidding me.
I'd just be trying to have some banter.
Just throwing out some banter, like preparing for the end. I would definitely want to spend it like with my girlfriend or with my family.
Yeah, that's fair, man. Yeah, spend it with your loved ones. That's what a lot of people say. Well, that's what most nice people would say. So that's nice.
Or maybe make a brick film from the minute.
But no one's gonna see it the next day. Oh, never mind.
I don't mind.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, this can be one just for me. You know.
Yeah, at the end of the day, people would say, well, no one would say because everyone would be dead, but people are saying the last hours when the meteor goes down, all your fans would say Edbound died doing what he loved, working for Amazon. Nah, doing nah, got him.
It'd be funny if
making brick films.
If I did make something right, and like then everybody died, and then like after like millions of years of like re-evolution or whatever, you know, like whatever next comes up after us, like discovered this, and you're just like, what the hell is this? Why did they do this? Who did this? I think it'd be funny.
Well, they'd see, like, obviously, the YouTube elite, and they'll just think, what a load of crap. But then they might see Forest stuff, Keshan stuff, Mind Game, you. There's this guy who does animations, talking about YouTube drama. I respect him because of the work rate. Filmmakers, even though I said the machinimas have a big ego, you know, some of them are obviously nice people. All that jazz.
Does machinima mean the same thing to me as it does to you?
What does machinima mean to you?
Machinima are like videos that are created in video games.
Yeah, well, the main ones who I met who have sort of a big ego, I'm not naming names, some of them are cool, but it's mostly Halo people. I haven't met any Minecraft machinima people. I haven't met any no Minecraft machinima people, no. They've done some Battlefront machinimas. Yeah, you know. I respect the work because some of them are like hours and hours long, but I'm just saying my personal experience. Your experience with machinima people could have been like a million times better, I don't know, you know.
I've never actually had any experience with machinima. I used to watch machinimas a lot though. I used to watch
you never got asked on Xbox to like on body acting help.
Sanity Not Included.
Oh, okay.
Have you watched that?
Is that Evan Royalty?
I don't know.
I might have. I haven't watched Machinima.
And Lyle McDouchebag.
Oh, I haven't watched Machinima in years, sadly.
But this was years ago. This was in like 2011, 2012.
I'm sorry.
Sanity Not Included.
I just can't remember.
By a British guy.
I just can't remember it, bro. I just can't remember it.
They made a lot of machinimas for like a lot of different like games. It wasn't just like Nintendo. It was like Halo, Gears of War.
Yeah.
PlayStation stuff too. I remember there's one really funny one where this guy said, "You son of a bitch," and the other guy turns to him with a gun and says, "You bitch of a son." And I'm like, damn, this is so good. This is everything I ever wanted.
Yeah. So
yeah, machinimas are pretty.
Out of interest though, bro, who do you watch on YouTube now?
Now I watch a lot of history stuff. There's this one channel called The Armchair Historian that I watch a lot because they do like these animated history segments. I'm like, damn, this is cool. What else do I watch a lot? I don't think I haven't, you know what, these last, like, couple weeks, I haven't really been watching anybody.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been on Netflix mostly, just watching Community while animating. But I've subscribed to a lot of people. Because I've been on YouTube for years now, so I've, like, just gained a lot of people that I really like watching. I like Wisecrack.
Oh, yeah, they're bro, they are class.
I like The Take.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was who I was going to mention. Next, I was going to say, you know those people who do like loads of Breaking Bad analyses? And...
Oh, yeah, The Take.
Yeah, I did, but yeah,
I actually got into them through their Breaking Bad analysis, but I really love all of their analysis. I think they're all really well written.
I think they've done some Game of Thrones ones as well, which are class. Have you?
They've done a lot.
Have you ever seen Nerdstalgic? He's class, man.
Oh, I've seen Nerdstalgic. Oh, Nexpo. Have you seen Nexpo?
Nah.
The horror YouTube is a different layer.
No, I'm sorry. I don't like horror films. I don't like supernatural horror films. I like, you know, like The Thing and what's that other horror film I like? You know, like The Thing. I don't mind gory stuff and realistic stuff, but like I don't like supernatural stuff, bro. It creeps me out.
Oh, this isn't supernatural stuff. The thing about horror YouTube, I find, is that mostly on YouTube, it's a lot of true crime stuff.
No. So
a
like,
lot of it is like, you know, some things I've found around the internet that are like disturbing, or like just crazy shit that goes on in the world that, like, you know, he tells you about, and it's always kind of spooky. You know, he definitely sets the mood. I really like Expo.
I might like that, but I think I might be a little bit freaked out by some of it. I don't know.
Oh, it is definitely freaky, but that's what makes it so much fun, I think.
Have you ever seen The Thing though, Kurt Russell?
The Thing? Oh, I know what The Thing is. I've never seen it, but I've seen like I've watched like spoiler videos about it. You know. So
so you know who The Thing was then? Did you guess it right while you were watching the clip, or?
Wait a second. I didn't know there was a person who was The Thing. I know The Thing can like take over.
No. You know when?
Make you like.
No. You know when like... Kurt Russell had them all lined up, and then he was like testing them out who The Thing was.
With the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. That was pretty cool.
I love that film, man. It's only worth one watch, though. To be fair.
Really?
That's how I feel.
I haven't even given it a single watch.
You need to watch it, bro. Well, now that you know, I love the ending. It's so funny. Well, not funny, but he's just so nonchalant about all these tentacles, and he's just like, "Fuck you too," and he just throws the dynamite.
Once you've been through enough, I feel like you have the right to be like that, you know.
But he's so laid back. But then one of his work colleagues comes at the end, and it's skeptical whether he's The Thing or not. But you know he's The Thing because he accepts the bottle of wine or beer because they knew you can be contaminated by drinking stuff, and he was like, "Do you want this beer?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then he drank it, and then you're like, "Oh shit, he's The Thing." But but good news, Ed. Kurt Russell survives because in the Thing video game, which is apparently canon, Kurt Russell.
It's canon?
Yeah, Kurt Russell kills him, and the soldiers come to rescue Kurt Russell. So that's good.
So we gotta watch the Thing and then play the video game after to get the full story.
Yeah. And then there was there was that nonsense prequel which I just didn't bother watching.
What was the game for? What console?
I can't remember. It's like, I think it's meant to be one of those hard games, like the Scarface game, but I don't know much about it. It's just what one of my mates told me. But, what are your all-time favourite films then, bro?
A lot of animated films. You got Paranorman, obviously by Leica. Spider-Verse. I feel like I can't go on without that one, dude. It's just, I love watching it every time.
Yeah, I need to watch Spider-Verse, man.
It's weird because I don't think I remember a lot of the movies I've seen, but I definitely enjoy movies a lot. Edgar Wright is always fun to watch, but I wouldn't say his movies are my favorite movies.
Yeah.
It's weird. Most of my favorite movies are definitely like animated films, like.
That's fair because you're a brick film animator.
Oh yeah, I think animation in general just like, you know, has me just has me by the collar, you know, like just holding me up. And they're just like, all right, we're your entire identity now. Deal with it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
It's really big for me. Oh yeah, a lot of stop motion films. Ratatouille. I like Ratatouille.
Yes, lad. That's class.
Ratatouille's definitely my favorite Pixar.
I can't believe Bilbo Baggins voiced the bad guy, man. Ian Holm.
Skinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure it was him. He did such a good job at that.
Oh yeah.
It said he was in.
Very, very convincing as like an evil chef kind of person. Why do you think there's so many chefs in my videos? Chef Dong, Chef Samurai.
Yeah, a lot of chefs, man.
Chefs are cool, you know. Like you got Gordon Ramsay doing his thing.
Oh no, not him. Absolutely. I've said no when I was.
I love the memes about him.
Bro, when I was reviewing all the animated films, I went on a rant about... I know you probably haven't seen that podcast, but me and my mate were talking about Gordon Ramsay. I was like, he's such a tit to everyone. If he was talking to me like that in my kitchen, I'd tell him to leave, you know. I'd say, what the bloody hell do you know? You just make small... No, all he does is make small portions for loaded people. That's all he does. He thinks he's the best cook ever, but...
You know what? It's straight up the memes, dude. All the things I've seen people put in his mouth. There's this one, where it was like, I forget what it was exactly, but it's like, I can't think of a good one at the top of my head, sadly.
Oh, okay.
But I remember it being funny, you know? So just pretend like I said it, and we're all laughing.
What? Yeah.
Classic Gordon Ramsay, you know? It's hilarious.
I was gonna say, though, Ed...
I don't like him as a person, but definitely, like, the meme, you know? You gotta respect the meme.
I'll tell you who's worse than Gordon Ramsay, though. This bloke called Jamie Oliver. He is the biggest self-righteous tit ever. I'm sorry to slight celebrities on here, but I don't care.
Damn.
He
I don't know if you're listening to this right now. What was his name? Oliver?
Jamie Oliver.
Jamie Oliver, if you're listening to this right now, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, Ed. Oh, boo.
I don't even know who he is. I don't even know who he is.
No, but he tries to ruin the full English breakfast. He keeps trying to make everything healthy, and it's like, people will eat healthy if they want to eat healthy. Like, stop trying to ruin satisfying food, you tit. You know.
Damn.
That's just how I feel, but it is what it is anyway. But yeah, who would you? I know I've talked to you about it before, but who would you put in your top brick filmers list or personal favourite either?
My personal favorites?
Yeah.
Twick a Brick.
Yeah, he's
I really
nice.
like his stuff, man. It's something else. And James K. Wood.
Yeah, he's quite good.
Very talented, and a lot of the stuff he does is very digital too, which is what blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because look at his Dancing in the Dark video, for example. Apparently, that's like all digital. And like you look at the behind the scenes, and it's like, yeah, this is a lot very digital. But you don't even like in the video. It's like, what? How did you cover this all up? It doesn't look digital at all. It looks so real.
Yeah.
That dude's only like 16 too, and I'm just
Bloody
like, what the hell, man?
What
The
other?
talent.
Yeah. I mean, brick filmers are just so underappreciated, bro.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like a niche in YouTube, which is strange. I feel like it should have a bigger presence because I feel like with like the low barrier of entry and sort of just, I guess it's like, you know, it's also like the thing about it is that it takes a lot of hard work and YouTube doesn't really reward that.
True. They just reward people like Morgs pumping stuff out, acting daft all the time. Sadly. I was gonna.
It's hard.
Yeah. But I was gonna say though, man, as long as you're doing what you enjoy, that's what really counts, you know.
I am definitely, yeah. You know, I think like the whole weekly stuff, it can be taxing at times, but I think I do really like this model because it's nice to be able to like, you know, constantly feel like I'm doing something new.
Yeah.
And fresh.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have like, you know, continuously being able to move on.
Do you ever get stressed like trying to come up with the ideas or?
I definitely do get writer's block. Yeah, I mean, like everybody does. Everybody comes to like a wall at some point.
Yeah.
Especially during coronavirus, though. I think one of the biggest inspirations I've had as I was making brick films, especially this time last year, I would commute a lot, right, to, you know, go places where I need to go. And on those commute, I would listen to music, and a lot of that music really helped paint scenes.
Oh, cool.
And that's how I would get most of my ideas. You know, I was listening to Old Town Road the entire time. I'm imagining like a Wild West showdown.
Oh, sick. That's quite awesome.
Yeah, and you know, just listening to music in general, I think is where I get most of my inspiration because I just think what would look good, what would like, you know, look cool while this music was playing.
Who are your favorite?
But sadly, since, you know, I'm not commuting anywhere anymore, I don't really get as many experiences to really get stuff like that. And also, so I was talking about COVID, right? Mm-hmm. And how, like, I guess some of the stuff in, like, 2020 is a lot of it is inspired by kind of that.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only thing that's really going on. And it kind of, like, you know, I kind of want to, not everybody wants to think about COVID 24/7, you know?
Yeah. It would just, you'd struggle to get on with stuff if you were just thinking about that, you know?
Yeah. Like, I kind of, like, you know, but it's hard to find new experiences when you're actively being told that looking for them, there's a thin layer of death just kind of surrounding you.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to deal with that.
Fair dues. What music do you listen to then? Obviously you said Old Town Road. Do you ever listen to any?
I listen to a lot of The Killers.
Hey.
It's a great album.
Somebody told
Jenny
me.
was a friend of mine. I love that song and I want to do a video to it, but copyright, you know.
Just YouTube being tits. Dickheads.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Have you heard that song?
I really want to listen to The Killers. Everyone's telling me they're great, but like I've only listened to somebody.
Mr. Brightside.
Somebody told me, and yes, Brightside, and I listened to Tyson vs Douglas, and there was this other song I listened to which I liked, but I just need to listen to more of it, man. I do like a lot.
Listen to Hot Fuss.
Okay, I will do.
If you ever like sit down and think, you know what, it's time. Just listen to Hot Fuss. That one's definitely. Oh man,
Yeah.
Mr. Brightside is on that album, and it's not even the best song on that album.
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance. I also listen to a lot of My Chemical Romance.
Okay. What about Red
You
Hot?
wouldn't expect because they're a stereotypical emo band. Wait, what? Is everything okay?
Oh, I was just gonna say, what about Red Hot Chili Peppers? But you go on about what you were saying. Sorry.
Actually, I know Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I never really listened to them.
Okay.
A lot of my music is based primarily on what I was hearing growing up. And my sister was a teenager around 2006, 2007-ish, 2008. So I would listen to a lot of the music she would listen to. So My Chemical Romance being one of them, because they're really popular in those times.
Mm-hmm.
The Killers, obviously, also were really popular. But I'm also listening to more contemporary stuff, like Tyler, the Creator. I really like his new works.
You ever listen to Green Day?
Oh, yeah.
Hey! Nice.
A lot of people's, like, Basket Case is a great song.
Have you ever listened to Burnout or In the End?
In the End by Linkin Park?
No. Green Day did a song In the End in their first album. In the End by Linkin Park's good as well, but I love...
Nah, like with Green Day, my only familiarity with them is like their greatest hits kind of thing, you know?
Oh, fair enough. You ever listen to Oasis?
No. I listened to Jesus of Suburbia, and I thought that was pretty good.
That's a good song, because it's like 5 songs in one, and them... Billy Joe's...
it's a long song too, yeah.
Billy Joe's so good on stage, man, at getting people going. Like, and... I watched his live performance and he was like, this is for everyone who took the train here tonight. This is Jesus of Suburbia. And it's like he's so good at getting everyone hyped and going.
It's pretty cool.
And he's talented as well. You get some musicians who are like on the stage and they just don't care and they're just big-headed. But Billy Joe, he seems like quite a cool sound bloke.
Some people were definitely like... Some people definitely do like get the power up on the stage, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. But,
And... music, yeah, I think music is definitely important. I think, like, you know, like, I feel like, I was watching Korra recently, and I know we were talking about Korra earlier, but, like, you know, like, the music in Korra in particular does such a good job at elevating so much of the action and so much of, like, the dramaticism.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Music can be the make or break, man. It's like in Shrek, you remember all the songs from... No.
I know what you mean, though, because you're right. Yeah, that's the thing.
If Shrek had opened with, I don't know, Bruno Mars singing about how he'd catch a grenade, you know... It would have been...
As he opens the door, because I catch a grenade... And, like,
or if
the
it...
door slams open.
As much as I love a bit of the Beastie Boys, if Shrek had opened with Intergalactic, it would have been so weird. But I would have loved that, to be fair. That would have been hilarious if Shrek opened to Intergalactic.
It's incredible. That opening is like...
It just establishes everything.
It establishes everything. And that just established the movie. It establishes life for literally everybody born in that time.
Yeah. And like Shrek 2.
All of our lives can be traced back to him opening that door to Smash Mouth.
Yeah, definitely. And in Shrek 2, the music does it even better, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Like, I Need a Hero. Oh, my Lord.
I was about to say, yeah, Fairy Godmother singing that. That was one of the coolest things ever. That's like...
That is cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah. As Shay Thriller said, as Shay Thriller said, that is it's probably like one of the best climaxes in cinema history. I'm not even gonna lie. There isn't.
Oh my God, it's a whole siege, dude. It's so cool to watch. Everything about it is so perfect.
And Puss redeems himself by saying,
"Oh yeah, it's all epic. I love it so much." The giant gingerbread man like going down at the castle.
Yeah, that was so sad.
And like Gingy was like, "No."
Yeah.
All of it was so good.
Definitely, man.
I gotta watch it again. I got one of those things every few days. You know, cleanse, like, you know, your sins.
Like watching Shrek.
Oh yeah.
But even 4 had a decent soundtrack. 3 had one good song at the start, but that was just horrific. That was so... It felt like there was no effort into that one. It felt weird.
I definitely don't remember those. Yeah, I don't remember those ones as well.
Star Wars has always had good soundtracks, though. Like
Star Wars does have, Star Wars, I always said, you know, if there's one thing I really like about Star Wars, it's definitely the music.
Yeah, like Phantom Menace, that, the
Duel of the Fates?
Yeah, that song was amazing.
Binary Sunset is also, like, I think, it's perfect. It's one of those perfect songs, you know?
Which one's that? Which scene?
And, like, it's in A New Hope when Luke is looking at the sunset.
Oh, yeah. Bro. That was brilliant, man.
That is one of those, this is legit, like, the perfect song you can capture for this atmosphere. 100%.
Yeah. To be honest, though, man, with Star Wars, I'm not a fan of most of the films, to be honest. Like, a lot of it I think is just a bit rubbish. But A New Hope, amazing. Empire, one of the best films ever.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Alright there, so
3, 2, 1.
For some reason I lagged out. Well, Ed couldn't hear what I was saying, sadly. So, but yeah, I was just saying about how like I don't mind the prequels and the sequels, but they're just not my cup of tea. But I do enjoy them for what they are. But if they weren't Star Wars, I'd probably not like them that much, you know.
Yeah, I don't really, I can't really like. I watched them all, but I don't have any like desire to watch them again.
Fair enough.
Well, I haven't watched Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that one's a bit crap because I won't spoil it, but the characters go at each other a bit too much in my opinion, and they like who were meant to be friends, and they just rush it too much. And
I've read all the plot. I've like heard everybody say everything, and I'm just like, this is not seem sucks because I was honestly looking forward to the sequel trilogy after watching The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I thought The Force Awakens was pretty fun.
I get why you liked it, because it was your first Star Wars film, because one of my mates who didn't watch Star Wars, he was like, I like it, but I was like, yeah, but it's just a bit too much like A New Hope, and they'd go back on Han's character arc, but it's decent fun. It's probably the best of the three, but not my cup of tea.
Oh, I think, yeah, from what I've heard, I've seen The Last Jedi too, and I definitely think I had more fun with The Force Awakens. There are a lot of people who talk about The Last Jedi saying it's like a secret masterpiece, and I'm just like, I don't see it that way, personally. I don't know, I was too bored for like the majority of the movie to see it like interesting.
I just agree with Schaefer Ellis on it, to be fair.
Yes, Schaefer Ellis.
He is a top geezer.
Tiny man.
He's bloody
I do know. I actually have seen quite a few of his videos. I saw the one where he reacted talked.
Shrek 2.
He did the entire Shrek 2 script, yeah.
For charity, yeah.
For charity. I'm watching this dude do this, and I'm like, damn, bro, this dude really went at it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you really just can't like say anything like at all about that because this man put his soul into that performance.
I did love it. It was so funny.
It's so inspiring to see, you know.
He's quite a nice bloke. He seems as well on his podcast.
I would definitely follow this dude into battle, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if he was at the end of Braveheart, saying they'll take our lives. No, they may take our lives, but not take our freedom. But one last question I was going to ask. We'll end it off here if that's all right with you. Like after I ask this.
Oh damn. Okay.
Are you alright? Would you want to keep going for a bit?
I'm down. I'm gonna keep going. I'm having fun with it.
Okay, fair enough.
But you know, if you like, you know, like it also is getting a little late on your end. I know it's like 9 o'clock for you now.
Yeah, and I've got the cheeky interview tomorrow, but we could definitely do another one. You know, whenever.
Yeah, I'd be down. But if you want, you know, this can be the last question.
Yeah. So, how do you feel that you've made your own style of brick filming? Because people are like, some people are like, oh, this person's like Edbound, this person's done it like Edbound, and doesn't that feel like crazy that you've managed to pull off your own like atmosphere in the films?
It's very strange because I definitely have stolen quite a few like, you know, tricks and tips from directors I've been influenced by. You know, like the whole like, you know, music on beat to fighting. That has always been like something I've always been interested in, but after seeing Baby Driver especially...
Oh yeah, that's epic. That's an epic film.
I was like, damn, so this can really just like change the whole game.
Yeah.
And it's very satisfying and very nice to hear that and like see it too. Obviously, you know, Edgar Wright and Baby Driver didn't invent that. You know, beat matching has always been a thing, but I really... that's something I really enjoy. But it's weird because a lot of people say, oh, this is like Edbound or whatever, but I never felt like I really coined anything. I kind of just... I don't even think I popularized it, honestly. You know, like the whole movies in minutes kind of stuff. That's been being done.
Yeah, but
not just by me, not just by one person, but not even just by brick filmers. Just by there's a whole movie about it called Be Kind Rewind.
Mm-hmm.
With Jack Black, where he accidentally wipes all of the video cassette tapes from a video store. So him and the video, he and the video owner have to remake all these movies.
That sounds
using
epic.
like homemade props. But people actually start loving these movies. So
That's epic.
So they start like, you know, getting, yo, can you do The Lion King? Or like, can you do this? And you know, and it's just like, and it's like, you know, they didn't even coin that idea. That's a 2008 movie. But I think when they say, you know, it's like Edbound, it's just because I think this is where they recognize a lot of these tropes from.
Well, what I sort of meant was like the animation, like how there's just so much energy and there's always a movement with nearly every word, and like the movement's so fast and it's like there's so much energy and it's so, you know, it just keeps your attention.
Oh, yeah, that also I guess is strange how people say that's like, you know, like how my stuff, because I only do that. Well, I only did that because when I would try to watch brick films around like 2014, 2015, 2016 era, I noticed a lot of brick filmers would kind of just like, have their figures standing around or walking around while speaking a lot, but not really moving. And I'm like, this is not doing it for me. After like 5 or so, like after a little bit too long, I find myself clicking off.
Yeah.
And when I went back into brick filming, I kind of like wanted to make sure, how can I make sure people don't feel that way when they're watching my stuff? So I have to make sure, I personally, have to constantly be doing something because otherwise I get bored.
That's fair.
Same with my videos. I feel like they have to constantly be, stimulating you, or else people get bored. And I think that's not just me. I think that's just anybody who kind of grew up in the whole Vine era, where you had 6 seconds to make a video that, like, kind of like, that like really captured somebody's attention.
Yeah, man.
And you get so used to just consuming 6-second media, your attention span gets nuked. And I felt, you kind of have to accommodate for that by always having something just kind of like go off, having something to like, like fixate on, or like having the characters speak in a way that have enough, like sort of like, I guess, energy to infect the audience as well.
Yeah. Actually, Ed, there was one... That's really interesting, bro, but there was one actual final question that I just came up with. Well, I was going to ask it earlier, but I just remembered. You said to me, like, on Discord at one point, this is nothing personal, obviously, but I was saying, how long do you reckon you'll plan to do this? And you said 6 years, and like, or 7 years, and then after that, you're going to, like, do, like, passion projects. So, like, will you do, like, a full-on claymation film? Because if things go the way they're going, there's a good chance that you'll be minted, which basically means, well, rich in England terms. So, you could basically make, like, I don't know, some crazy claymation that goes on for ages. Crazy in a good way.
That would be cool.
Is that what you want to do? Like, would you...
That is always something like that. That is always something I always kind of like had eyes on, or like had a goal for. I never wanted to be rich for like rich's sake. I said this earlier, I think, but I don't know if this was recorded. Is essentially one of the biggest issues I think is that if you're stuck in this sort of like economic space, you're kind of stuck working, and you're never really given enough time. And your energy is always sapped away from you from your job. You never really get a lot of chances to work on your own opportunities,
unless you've got
own sort of passions, because you always got to figure out, how am I getting rent this month?
And yes, unless you're lucky, or you've got mad drive, or you've got a load of money.
Yeah, essentially that. Not just mad drive. I've seen people with mad drive still get stuck because they don't really know where to put that drive.
No, I know, but I'm on about next level. There's a reason why some people, get to the top, and some people, like brick filming terms, I mean, like, or just passion in general.
I think there is definitely some human influence, but there's definitely so many things that are out of your control that can keep you down, which sucks.
Yeah. I get you. It's like one of my mates' dads. He works from like 5 a.m. till 7 p.m. like sometimes. Not all the time, but he does do long hours. And he could do stuff if he wanted to, but he's just not interested in any of this creativity, and he'd rather just chill out and relax with his family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think with creative work, I think that's probably like the best bet a lot of people have for kind of like elevating themselves.
Yeah. Would you do...
Maybe this is just because I don't understand economics.
Yeah. but would you... So, like you said about passion projects, would you still do brick film passion projects in life?
I would still, dude. I want to make a Strong Arthur movie. I still want to make an actual Strong Arthur movie one day.
What do you mean by that?
100%, dude. I think I like the idea.
What do you mean? Like you make
like an actual feature film?
You make like an hour-long brick film?
Yeah, like an hour long, like an hour and a half long, like like not like an actual feature film, like where you can see like like the production and stuff go crazy. Maybe like obviously, and like the characters would have mouths, I think.
Yeah.
But something something that you would genuinely want to show like a ton of people in a theater or something, something that you'd be proud.
That'd be ace, man. I mean, if it's high enough quality, it's possible. It's possible if it's high enough quality. I mean, if there was such a massive demand for it, it'd be cool if it did get in theater.
I would never want to like charge people for something like this.
Oh, you just give it all for free, like even if it was in theater.
I would definitely want to put it up on YouTube for like as many people, like
Oh yeah.
Killer Beans Forever.
Yeah.
Like that dude, it's pretty cool that you just you put up your passion project on it, because I feel like if you start selling it to people, that means you're starting.
No. I don't mean making paid people on YouTube, but I mean at the cinema, it's an atmosphere, bro. It really.
I would definitely I would rent out a cinema if I could, to have a premiere for a bunch of people. But yeah, no, passion projects, actual feature, I would definitely in the future, I would definitely want to actually pursue more of that sort of level of filmmaking. Right now, I feel like I feel like, although I'm doing my best, you know, it is YouTube, and I guess there is sort of like a disconnect between people who make YouTube videos and people who make, you know, films. Although I don't think there should be. I think there should be, like, at the end of the day, you know, people get their start in various ways, and this is also a new age, and there are new tools to sort of get to that point. Right now, we're not really seeing YouTube people integrate with film people, but I feel like as we're going to go along and make advancements in human history, we're probably going to see a lot more overlap between internet and you know, like mainstream stuff.
I hope so.
I mean, we're already seeing it now.
I mean, less and less people are going to the cinema, aren't they? They're more, which I'm a bit gutted by, because I love going to the cinema with my mates, and then going to.
I love going to the theater.
Yeah, and then going to Witherspoons afterwards and whizzing my tits off on 4 pints of Stella. You know, like that. That's what makes the cinema so fun, man. Because you see a film and then you go to the bar and just have a great time and talk about the film.
About it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a good laugh.
You see when that dude's guys were just like, and then.
Yeah.
That's how me and my friends talk about movies.
It's brilliant, man. I mean, I did have a drink before the Sonic film, because me and my mate went to see the Sonic film. There was going to be 4 of us, but 2 people, and it made me enjoy it a little bit. Like, I thought it was okay entertainment when I had a drink.
Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't think it was like mind-blowing or anything, but I didn't like hate it, you know?
Jim Carrey performed his heart out, though. That was one of his best performances in ages, man.
I gotta say, Jim Carrey kind of carried.
Yeah. Everyone else was sort of meh. The cop was generic. Sonic was a bit boring.
I didn't like Sonic, man. I thought Sonic was annoying.
I thought he was alright, but he was a bit boring, I thought.
There are a few lines he said where I'm just like, grown. Give me more Jim Carrey, you know?
100%, man. Anyway, I think we can wrap up nicely there. Any more final words?
Thank you for having me.
Bro, honestly,
it was a pretty fun conversation.
Yeah, like, this has probably been one of the best ones, man. I've really loved doing this one. I'm so happy you was up for doing it, man. Honestly, it's been such a good laugh. But thanks for coming on, and yeah.
No problem, man.
So thanks for watching, everyone, and see you in the next one.